something that you can use beneath you for your practice, that would be ideal. If you are on carpet or a rug, that works too. And then a prop would also be ideal. So I'm using a block today. If you have a block, that is awesome. Or if you have a hardcover book or something that is a hard surface that you can use just as a prop for your class today, that is ideal. So also going to need some water near you, close the practice in, but if you're ready, go ahead and take a seat with me on your space. We are going to start in a seated easy pose. If you have your block or if you have a pillow or something, feel free to sit on it. We'll be here for just a little bit, but if not, feel free to get seated on the ground. So we are going to start with our elbows right underneath our shoulders. Our hands are going to be placed face up. And this is where we're gonna just start to arrive on our mat to center ourselves and get ready to practice today. So if it feels comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes right here and just start to breathe in and out through your nose. Maybe start to notice the pace of your breathing. If you're breathing a little bit quickly, start to focus on slowing that breath down. And the purpose of this moment is to just bring our body and our mind together onto this mat, into this place. Again, we're going to be here for the next 60 minutes together, so it's very important to be aware of your body, not letting those outside thoughts or judgments or worries come into your practice today. Take this time for just you to be on your mat, to do something great for your body and your mind. Again, we're breathing in and out through the nose. Letting our breathing slow. Maybe doing a body scan right now. So thinking about how our body feels, what feels good, what feels tight. Particularly those tight areas could be our hips or our neck and shoulders, or maybe those facial muscles, our jaw, or the area between our eyebrows. So just paying attention to that and noticing it. We'll take some time throughout class, having some periods to do body scans. So start to notice how maybe your feelings of your body are right now compared to later on in the class. And as we progress through this centering piece, we are going to start our Durga Pranayama, or our 3-part breath. So if you're familiar with this breathing activity, go ahead and get started. If you are new to it, follow along with me. We're going to place one hand on our chest and one hand right over our belly button. And this 3-part breath, we start with an inhale into that hand over the belly button. So filling that area up with air until you can't anymore. Then start to let that air flow up into our chest and finally up towards that collarbone or clavicle. So we feel like our lungs are fully filled with air. Hold that breath for a moment and then slowly exhale in reverse order. So first exhaling at the clavicle or collarbone, then at the chest, and finally the belly. We'll start that again, first filling the belly with air, the chest, and finally the collarbone, holding for a moment and then exhaling slowly in reverse order. Taking this time to breathe at your own pace, following that flow of breath. Remember, holding at the top for just a moment, and maybe holding at the bottom when we empty our lungs with air. After this breath, once you exhale your air, we are going to work on a counted breathing. So all of our air should be exhaled. We're going to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1 and exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold for 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your hands were on your chest and belly, you can slowly let them fall back to your thighs or your knees. Taking a moment here again, if our eyes were closed, keeping them closed. Taking a couple inhales and exhales at your own pace now. This is a great time to set an intention for our class. If you have anything that you want to keep in mind for this class, something you know you personally want to focus on or work on, I encourage you to set that intention right here. For those that maybe need an intention or want to borrow an intention, our intention for this class that we'll keep in mind is going to be finding comfort in discomfort. So this can be applicable in all areas of life as well as with our own physical body. If you're watching this today, then maybe you're in a time where there is a lot of discomfort or a lot of uncertainty, and it can be challenging to find comfort or find grounding in that. So I encourage you in this practice today to keep that in mind. Find the moments where maybe your body feels a little less comfortable. Challenge yourself to find comfort in that, to hold that pose a little longer, or to find that deeper stretch. Or maybe challenge your mind. If you've noticed that your mind is wandering off today, challenging yourself to really focus on your body and your mind in this moment right here. So with that said, we are going to continue to warm up, and we're just going to take a few neck rolls. So sitting in our easy pose, let's start to tilt our chin to our chest. We'll take our left ear to left shoulder and slowly roll the neck around till our right ear comes to right shoulder, and eventually our chin back to our chest. Taking those rolls at your own pace. If you notice an area that maybe needs some extra attention or feels specifically tight, you can hold in that area and just breathe into that space of your body. After you take this last complete neck roll, let's go the other direction. Again, looking for some spaces that feel particularly tight. Don't be afraid to rest into those spaces for an extra couple seconds. Breathe into that space. Once you finish this neck roll, go ahead and meet me at a neutral spine. We'll roll our wrists out just a little bit before we find tabletop. So taking your wrists, rolling them inwards towards each other, and then outwards. Still sitting up tall. Once you're ready, we are going to find tabletop pose. So we can swing our legs out. If you had a pillow or a block or a prop underneath you, moving that over to the side. And from here, we are on hands and knees. So our shoulders are directly over our wrists. Our hips are directly over our knees. And we're gonna find some cat and cow poses here. So warming up our spine, we inhale, dropping that belly to the mat. Gaze looks up in front of us, or maybe upward just a bit. Exhaling, we curve that spine, round it out, separate those shoulder blades, chin to our chest, cat pose. Inhaling, dropping that belly to cow. And exhale, curling to cat. So starting to take this motion with your own breath, maybe not following along with my cues. Vinyāsa Yoga translates to breath synchronized to movement. So throughout this class today, I'm going to mention a lot of breathing cues that match what our body is doing. And I encourage you to take those cues and match them to your own breath. So maybe that's moving slower or faster than whatever pace I'm cueing at. I encourage you to follow your body today. Taking one more full cat, one more full cow, one more full cat, meeting at a neutral spine. Let's continue to warm our core up with some spinal balances. So let's take one hand, reach it out in front of us like we're gonna shake someone's hand. Nice neutral spine here. We're gonna take that opposite foot, taking it back, either placing the toe on the ground like a kickstand or lifting up in the air. Foot is flexed. So start to find that shift in our body here. We want to find equal weight distribution with our hand and our knee that are grounded. So once we find that, we can hold in balance, breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower hand and knee. Let's take this on the other side now. So reaching that opposite hand out, and then taking that foot, if we had the toe placed on the ground last time, keeping it there, or if you lifted, lift. And again, finding that balance between the weight distribution in our grounded hand and our grounded knee. Finding a nice flat spine, balanced hips, heads in neutral alignment, likely looking down at the floor in front of you. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly placing hand and knee to ground. All right, so taking a moment, maybe shaking those arms out. If we need to stretch those wrists out, take a moment to do that. We're gonna do a spinal balance one more time on each side, this time with the option to add a crunch. So go ahead and reach that first arm and leg out. Once we feel we have that good weight distribution, option to stay here, or option to inhale and extend, exhale, crunch. We inhale, extend, and exhale, crunch. 3 more at your own pace. Taking about 1 more here. Good, extending 1 last time, and lowering hand and knee. Good. All right, other side, reaching arm and leg out, finding that distribution, inhaling to extend, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhaling, extend, exhale, elbow to knee. Take 3 more at your own pace. About 1 more right here. And then we inhale, extend, exhale, place hand and knee to ground. From here, we're gonna find Balasana, or child's pose. So taking those big toes together, touching, we sit back on our heels here, let our forehead rest to the ground, and reach those arms out in front of us. So right here, we can have our knees separated, or they can be closer together, whatever feels most comfortable for you right now. Just taking a moment to recover, and knowing that at any time in our practice, if you would like to take a recovery pose or just take a moment to recenter, this is a great pose to go into. 1 more breath here, in through the nose and out through the nose. On that next inhale, coming up into tabletop, we're gonna exhale, downward facing dog. So pressing those hips up towards the sky, first downward dog of the day. We wanna find some weight distribution between our feet and our hands, so lower and upper body. We don't want one half dominating where our weight goes. And from here, in order to keep our spine in alignment, it could be helpful for you to bend the knees here, especially if those hamstrings and calves are tight. You'll notice it's easy to round our back. So bending those knees can really help. And we'll start to walk the dog, placing one heel down towards the mat, bending the opposite knee, and then switching at your own pace. So finding some movement here that feels good for you. Stretching those calves out, stretching those hamstrings out. Head falls between our arms. Our gaze should be towards our feet. Couple more petals here. And when you're ready, meeting in a neutral downward facing dog, bending those knees, we look between the hands, and we're gonna slowly tiptoe the feet to meet the hands. We'll find ourselves in a forward fold. So here our upper body hangs down over our lower body or over those hips. Let those arms hang. Maybe a moment to close your eyes. Think about how our neck feels. Does it feel good to shake your head yes, shake your head no? Relieve some tension out of that neck and upper back. Maybe sway side to side. And here we feel those hamstrings, back of our thighs, really stretching out here. If your hamstrings feel particularly tight, maybe bending the knees a bit. And when you're ready, we're gonna slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Slowly, slowly, head is the last to rise. Beautiful. And once you're standing, we'll find Tadasana for a moment. So Tadasana is our mountain pose. Our big toes are touching, our heels are just separated, and we're standing up nice and tall with our palms facing forward. Here we're gonna find Crescent moon pose or stretch. We're gonna inhale our arms up high, placing our palms together. And if it's comfortable, you can link your thumbs behind just to kind of give you a little bit of grip on both sides. Inhale, reach tall, and exhale, stretch over to our right. So here we want to find a nice stretch in our side body, up through our arms. Trying to keep some integrity in our spine, so still sort of engaging our core or abdominals so that we're not arching our back. Inhale nice and tall towards the center, and exhale, lower those arms. You can shake them out a little bit if that feels good. Let's do that again, other side. So inhale, arms high, link those thumbs. And as we inhale a second time, we can exhale, bend. Finding that side stretch, this time on the right side of our body, we're leaning towards the left. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, tall. Exhale, lower Tadasana. Beautiful. Take a moment here to reset. We're going to get into our Sun Salutation A or our Surya Namaskar A. So I will be facing this side for this portion. Just so that you can all see my body a little bit better, take a breather, grab water. We've gotten some requests on our survey to make this class potentially a little more challenging or a little more fast paced. So that is going to be my goal for you today, is to speed up the pace of this class. And again, you can always let me know on our survey if that fulfilled your needs. So from here we are in Tadasana. We're moving breath to movement. First time through will be a little slow. The next few times will be quicker. So let's inhale, arms up high, Veerabhadrasana. We exhale, swan dive down, flat back until we're about halfway, then let that body fold over. Inhale, hands come to shins, halfway lift. Nice flat spine here. We exhale, fold, knees can bend. I press my hands to the mat if they can reach. From here, we walk out the feet, high plank. Option to lower the knees here. First time around, wrists are under my shoulders. I inhale, leaning forward. Exhale, elbows to sides, slowly lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, lift at the chest here just a little bit. Exhale, lower cheek to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra one more time. And exhale, other cheek to the ground. This time, full cobra or up dog. We inhale up and exhale, downward facing dog. We take 3 breaths here. So remember, always feel free to keep that bend in your knees. Breathing through the nose. On that 4th inhale, we look between the hands, tiptoeing the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. We inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Urdhva arms overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Beautiful. We're going to do that 3 more times today. The goal is going to be to bring some warmth into our body. So when you are ready, matching your breath to your movement, we inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to mat, step back into plank. Inhale, shift that weight forward. You can be in high plank this time if you'd like. Exhale, lower Chaturanga. This time, inhale, cobra or up dog. Up dog, we have our thighs lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. We flip the feet. 3 breaths. In your traditional yoga practice, we would probably take 5 breaths here. So if that is in your practice, you're welcome to. On your 4th inhale, looking between the hands, walking or hopping the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, we half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms overhead, Urdhva. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands come to mat, walking or hopping those feet to plank. Inhale, lift, shifting forward. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. On that 4th inhale, looking between the hands, walking or hopping the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva root to rise. And exhale, Tadasana. Last time through. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step back into your plank. Inhale, shift that weight forward. And exhale, chaturanga lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. During these vinyasas, if at any time you want to take your down dog into child's pose, you can. Next inhale, let's look between the hands, walk or hop the feet to meet the hands. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms overhead. Exhale, Tadasana. Mountain pose. Beautiful. Hopefully your body is a little bit warmer. I know mine is. Take a breather in mountain pose. If you need water, please grab it here. We're going to get into our main sequence today. And that sequence is going to be revolving around Sun B or Surya Namaskar B. Our peak pose, so in that last final round, we are going to hit, peak pose will be half moon. So again, this is a great one to have a prop near you. If you know you're going to want a prop, grab it here, just so that you can flow into it more smoothly when the time comes. Again, I'm going to be facing the side, at least for the beginning here. I might shift around so you can see me a little better, but you should be at the front of your mat, ready to go in mountain pose, taking a quick body scan here, thinking about that grounding. This is where we might challenge ourselves to find some poses that are maybe less comfortable, more challenging, and so to really lean into those poses. To challenge ourselves. Let's inhale. We're going to find chair pose. So with chair pose, we sit back in the heels. Our chest is lifted. Now hands can either be at heart center, they can be on our hips, or they can be up overhead. If shoulders are a little tight, those arms can come out to a V. One more inhale here. We exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Hands come to the mat. We step those feet back, high plank. Inhale, that weight shifts forward. And exhale, chaturanga lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 2 breaths. Remember, knees can be bent. On that next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg high. Foot is flexed. Hips are balanced. So do not open that hip. We want to keep it nice and aligned. Might mean you can't lift it as high, and that's okay. Inhale here. As we exhale, we drive that knee through, planting the foot between our hands. We're going to lift warrior 1. So back heel is going to stay grounded now. 45-degree angle. I lift my arms to the sky. Option to keep them on our hips or at heart center. Front knee has a bend. Check that alignment. Heel to heel. Front heel aligned with back heel. Inhale here. Exhale, lower those hands to the mat. Step that front foot back. Chaturanga. Take that vinyasa here. Flow through. I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Once you are in downward dog, we're going to inhale, lift the left leg high. Again, check for that balance here. Is our hip open? If so, close it for now. One more inhale. As we exhale, we drive that knee through, plant it between the hands, and lift. Inhale, warrior 1. Planting that back heel. Heel to heel alignment. Arms are either overhead, at heart center, or on our hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come down. We step the back foot to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sit back in the heels. Lift those arms overhead. Exhale, standing to mountain. Very nice. That was our simple Sun B. We're going to add on here. So standing in mountain, inhale, arms up high, Veerabhadrasana. Exhale, forward fold, but we missed chair pose, so we're going to have to go back and redo it. That is my bad. Let's inhale, chair pose. I always want to get out of chair pose. I think I know why. It's a little uncomfy. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Take your vinyasa here. So stepping back to plank or hopping. Finding that chaturanga. I'll meet you in downward facing dog. 2 breaths. This time we're going to go ahead and inhale the left leg high first. 3-legged dog. Exhale, drive that knee through. Place it between the hands and inhale, lift, warrior 1. Inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to open warrior 2. I'm actually going to face this side so you can see me a little bit better. We're going to open up. So here, I'm going to shift my front foot over. My front heel is aligned with my back big toe or the ball of my foot. I have this generous bend in my front knee not going over the toe. Back foot about a 90-degree angle. Pulling that right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, reverse warrior. So front arm, palm faces up. I lift towards the sky. My back arm reaches towards my thigh or my shin. Can also bind behind. If you have a prop around you, this is a great time to grab it. We're going to inhale here and exhale, extended side angle. So bringing that forearm to knee. My back arm, my right arm now, is reaching up overhead. So I still have that generous bend in my knee. I'm right here, opening the chest up towards the ceiling. Now where your prop can come in is if we want to take that arm that's on the forearm to thigh, we can grab that prop, hold it here, or maybe we can reach the ground. That's awesome. Don't ever challenge your body too far to where it needs to be, especially in yoga. We maybe see fancy things and want to do them, but we need to meet our bodies where they're at. So holding here. Couple more inhales, couple more exhales. On your next inhale, finding warrior 2. So we can kind of cartwheel those arms up. Find that warrior 2. Inhale here. As we exhale, we actually cartwheel the arms down. Step the front foot back to your plank. Chaturanga. Take that vinyasa. I'll meet you in downward facing dog. It's a lot of vinyasas today, a lot of these flows. So if at any point you want to take those out of your practice and just move to downward facing dog or even child's pose, you can. From here, right leg floats high, 3-legged dog. Inhale, and as we exhale, we bring that leg through. Stand, inhale to warrior 1. Take a breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, open warrior 2. Walk that front foot over. Now my heels align with my big toe. Generous bend in that knee, the front knee. On your next inhale, reverse warrior. Flip that front palm. Palm faces up. We reach that arm high. Back arm either comes down towards my thigh or my calf or binds behind. Finding some grounding here. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, extended side angle. Grab that prop if you need it. Again, I encourage you to use it. Don't forget about that bend in our front knee. This is a very active pose. Holding here for a few more breaths. When you're ready on your next inhale, cartwheeling those arms up to warrior 2. Taking a breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, cartwheel those arms down, frame the foot. We're going to step the back foot to meet the front. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva, but really we're going to chair pose. Again, trying to get out of it. Hold. 3, 2, and exhale. Tadasana. Beautiful. This next time through is going to be our last time through, but we are going to reach our peak pose. So we've got 2 more poses to add on to this. Prepare. Again, keep that prop near you. So, Tadasana, take a breath. When you're ready, inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sit back in those heels. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step or hop the feet. Find that vinyasa, chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and I'll meet in downward facing dog. This time we'll start with the right leg high again, 3-legged dog. Lift that leg. Exhale, bring the knee through. Warrior 1, inhale up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. As we exhale, open warrior 2. Next inhale, reverse warrior. Holding here. Inhale. As we exhale, extended side angle, lean into that front leg. Forearm to thigh or prop. Reach that top arm high or overhead, opening the chest here. Very active stretch, ground through those legs. From here, we are going to find Trikonasana or triangle pose. So what we're going to want to do is straighten that front knee. So if your forearm is resting on it, slowly lift through the core, straighten that front leg. Again, a great time for a prop. We shift our weight forward, hips shift back, and we find our triangle pose. So our right arm is reaching towards the ground. If you do not have a prop, resting it on the shin is helpful if it can't touch the ground. And then our left arm reaches up towards the sky. So it's as if your body is supposed to be fitting through 2 panes of glass, and you are just sliding right through the middle. Very active stretch in those left obliques. So my chest is opening, my hips are twisting the opposite direction, trying to center. From here, we are going to find our peak pose, half moon. So how we're going to find this is we're first going to lower that top arm, find a nice little bend in our front foot, this right foot. We walk the back in just a little bit. And from here, if you have that prop, it's going to be very helpful to you. It's about a foot in front of my right foot. So from here, we have a few options. I can either just find this little pose. I got my kickstand here. Both feet are on the ground. That's great. I find my pose here. Or if we want to take off and find that lift, hand can start on the hip. I lift my left leg up. So my hips are externally rotated right now. They are facing towards the left side. So my hips are facing towards the camera. I want to try to have that arm right below my shoulder. Both feet are flexed. That foot in the air is flexed. And if you feel comfortable taking that hand off the hip, it reaches up. Fingers are separated. If you're staring at the ground right now like I am, one challenge for you to add a little bit to this balance activity is to look out to your left. If you feel you don't need the prop, you can simply let go and either reach the ground or reach that right arm towards the ground. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Find a bend in that right knee. Reach back, warrior 2. Beautiful. Inhale here. As we exhale, cartwheel those arms down, take that front foot, step it back, find your vinyasa. I will meet you in downward facing dog. Very nice. Maybe pedaling the feet out for a moment here. And when you're ready, inhale that left leg high. Exhale, knee drives through. We plant the foot and lift. Inhale, warrior one. On your next inhale, take it right here. Exhale, open warrior two. Walk that front foot over. Heel to the ball of our foot, alignment. Trying to center those hips. Next inhale, reverse warrior. Lift the front of that palm up. Back arm reaches to the thigh or binds. Inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle. Forearm to thigh, or find that prop. Right arm reaches over. Keeping that bend in our front knee. Very active pose here. Open that chest. Center those hips. When you're ready, we're going to find Trikonasana or triangle pose. So straightening that front knee. Back foot's at 90 degrees. Use that prop if we need to. Right arm reaches up. Remember that pane of glass. We are sliding right between it. Remember our props. They are to assist us in our poses today. They're never crutches. When you're ready, starting to find half moon. So finding that bend in our front knee, walking that back foot in, using that prop if we'd like. Remember, it comes about a foot in front of us. Choose the option you chose with your other side. So if you left that foot down, leave it down. Or if we lifted, we can lift. My back is going to be facing you, but that's okay. Hips are externally rotated towards the right. Right foot is flexed and lifted. Remember, if we can take that foot or that hand off the hip, it comes right above. Open that chest up. And find some breath. This is a very much a pose that makes us feel ungrounded. So this is one of those, find comfort in discomfort, find that grounding in unsturdy surfaces. Remember, that gaze can go from the floor out to your right if you feel like challenging yourself. We're gonna hold for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly finding Veerabhadrasana or warrior 2. Generous bend in that front knee. Inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel those arms. This time we step the back leg to meet the front, forward fold. Take a moment here, bending one knee at a time, finding some stretching in our hamstrings here. So that leg that's straight is going to feel a deeper stretch than the one that's bent. When you're ready, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sit back in those heels. Good. From here, we're going to find a twist in chair pose before we end this full sequence. What I want you to do is exhale, arms come to heart center. We are going to inhale. As you exhale, your left elbow comes to right knee. So we find that twist here. We can have a little bind. And then we turn our chest towards our right side, looking up. Finding a nice twist here. Check out those knees. If you notice your right knee or your left knee is coming forward more so than the other, let's go ahead and adjust. Inhale here. Exhale, find a deeper twist if you can. Inhale here. Exhale, chair pose. If you need a second, you can find yourself out of chair pose, shake those legs, but if you'd like to, sitting in chair pose, working those thighs, we're inhaling here. Exhale, twist the other way, right elbow to left knee. Finding that twist here, using elbow pressing into knee, knee pressing into elbow. Keep those knees in check. One should not be bowing out. Inhale here. Exhale, twist. We inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to twist deeper. One more inhale here. Exhale, unfold. Inhale and stand mountain pose. Beautiful job. Take some water if you need it. If not, I will meet you in mountain pose. I want you to stay here, take a couple breaths, maybe close your eyes for a moment, do a quick body scan. How does your body feel? Does it feel different than when we started class today? If so, just make note of that. Maybe check in with how your mind feels, how that feels compared to the start of class. Here we're gonna find an arm balance pose. Balasana, or we're going to find Balasana, I can't speak, which is our Yogi Squat. That's not gonna be our arm balance. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna space your legs out a little bit, so about hip distance, and feet can be at an angle here. They don't have to be straight ahead. We're gonna inhale our arms high. As we exhale, they come to heart center. Good. We're going to lower ourselves into our Yogi Squat. So from here, we can kind of press our knees into our elbows. If you have something like a block that you can use to sit on for a moment, that's great. We are not going to be here too long though, so don't worry too much about it. We are going to go into Bakasana, which is what I was trying to say, which is our crow pose. If you've been taking this class every Monday, we have tried crow pose one other time. You are going to be facing, you can face me, I'm going to face the side. There's a few ways we can get into this. Regardless of your level of experience with yoga, there is something for you, so don't feel intimidated. First thing you're going to do is we're going to place our hands to our mat. And if you're familiar with crow pose, by all means, you can go right into it. But if you are following along with me, hands are placed on the mat. For our beginners, what I recommend doing is pressing your elbows or your triceps into your inner knee into triceps, so they press into each other. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rock forward as I do that and start to feel what that weight feels like into my hands and my forearms, okay? Gaze is always on the mat, but in front of me. It's not straight down between my hands, okay? So looking at that, just testing that out. And if you feel like you wanna lift 1 or 2 feet, we can either choose to lift 1 or we can lift 2, finding our crow pose. That would be, again, pressing our elbow into our knee, knee into elbow or tricep. Second option, a little more advanced, but if you're experienced and you wanna give it a go for it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place our hands on our mat. This time our knees are gonna rest on the top of our triceps. So we wanna find a little space for them. Again, doing either 1 foot or 2, finding our crow pose. So I'm gonna give us about 45 seconds here, and I want you to try whatever works for you. Again, maybe challenge yourself. It can be a little bit of a discomforting pose. We're really digging your knees into your triceps. So finding that balance of challenge and discomfort, and then when to back off. Breathing. Rounding at the spine. Keep practicing a few more. And if you fall out of it, that is perfectly okay. Happens all the time. That's okay. Again, it happens in life. All these comparisons. Okay, when you feel good about it, we are going to find ourselves in a quick tabletop, just lowering ourselves, stretching those wrists out, so folding them, not putting too much weight here. But again, just a little counter movement because we put a lot of strain in our wrists with that crow pose. Just placing the palm of our hand to the mat and switching. When you're ready, you can find child's pose, sitting back on the heels. Knees are separated this time. Forehead's on the mat, reaching out in front of us. Quick little recovery here. Got a few more stretches, a few more things to do, but we are making our way towards that final relaxation. When you are ready, we're going to find ourselves in a downward dog. We're going to challenge our core just one more time today with some tabletop hovers. So, keeping our knees a little bent in this downward dog. When on my call, we're going to go ahead and lower our knees as if we're coming into tabletop and just hovering for a moment. We'll hold there and then we'll lift back into downward dog. If it feels more comfortable for you at that point to rest in tabletop, you can, but we'll try for downward dog at least at first. So, holding here, we're going to inhale. As we exhale, lowering. Hover those knees just an inch above the mat, breathing while we're here. So inhale and exhale. For 3, 2, and 1. Back up into downward dog. So we're really having to use those abdominals and those core muscles to stabilize while we're there. Inhale here. Exhale, round 2, lowering down. Hover and breathe. Shoulders should be right over our wrists. 3, 2, and 1. Lift. We've got one more. When you're ready, inhale here. Exhale, hover. Three, 2, and 1. Rest those knees down. We're actually going to find our stomach to the ground or the mat for some exercises or poses to do in our prone position where our stomach's on the ground. So, that being said, we're going to find Locust Pose to start, and then there will be an option to go to bow pose. So, you can rest a cheek on the ground, hang out here for a second while I explain. Locust Pose, we have our hands behind us, so they're down at our sides, and we're going to either lift our upper body only, hands lift as well, so I'm here, or you have the option to lift hands and lower body, toes are pointed. So that is our Locust Pose. We're going to find that for about 15 seconds, breathing, engaging these back muscles here, especially our lower back. When you're ready, 3, 2, and 1, we lift. So engaging those glute, hamstring, back muscles, all those posterior muscles here. Not squeezing too tight, but engaging. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower. Other cheek can rest on the mat, the one that you didn't already have on the mat. We'll do this 2 more times. The last time we'll have the option to take to bow pose. So starting again in 3, 2, and 1, lift. Breathing as we're here. We never want to be holding our breath. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the opposite cheek to the ground. From here, the last time through, you have the option to keep yourself at Locust Pose, or if we want to advance this a second to bow pose, we would grab the tops of our feet and lift. So I'm pressing my feet into my hands into my feet. That's helping keep that stability of balance. So if you'd like to choose that option, we can reach for the tops of our feet. And regardless of which option you're choosing, we're lifting in 3, 2, and 1. Breathing here. Last time through. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Beautiful job. From here, we place our hands to the mat, lifting up through Cobra Pose, tucking the toes, finding downward dog. From here, we lift the right leg high. Option to open that hip up, bend the knee. Hang here for a moment if you'd like. When you're ready, we're gonna recenter, bring that knee through, meet right wrist to right knee, Pigeon Pose. So here, if you have the opportunity and the flexibility, this shin ideally is parallel with the front of your mat. Now, if you're like me, maybe your shin's not there, that's okay. We're gonna get it as close as we can. Finding this stretch, we should feel a stretch in our outer thigh, outer hip of that right leg. If you'll see I just placed a block under my hip. If you have a pillow or a prop that you can use and you need it, I encourage you to use it. Check behind, make sure that other foot is straight behind us. And from here, if this feels like enough stretch, hold. If we'd like to, we can lower ourselves onto our forearms and maybe let that head drop. So this is a great pose for our intention today, that finding comfort in discomfort. This can be an uncomfortable pose for people. It brings a bit of strain into our hips. However, it is great for improving the flexibility in our hips, which have a lot of little muscles in them that get very tight as we are sitting all day. So this is one of those where if we can breathe into this pose, knowing the difference still between, a painful strain and some discomfort, it can do us a lot of good. Promise it will leave you feeling better, at least as far as your hips go, when you leave class today. Taking about 3 more breaths here. Each exhale, trying to sink deeper and deeper into that stretch. If you are on your forearms, starting to lift, placing hands to the mat. And if you had a prop underneath your hip, removing it. From here, we'll take that back foot, tuck the toe. We lift back into our 3-legged dog once more, and then let that leg rest. Downward dog. From here, left leg lifts high. Open that hip for a moment if you'd like. We kept them center all class. Feel that stretch in our left side body. When you're ready, recenter. Let that left knee come to left wrist. Again, you can manually kind of maneuver your body to where you want it to be for this pigeon pose. Get it situated. If you're using that prop underneath your hip, setting it up. And again, if staying up on our hands and wrists is comfortable enough, keep it there. And if we'd like to deepen the stretch, lowering to our forearms. Same thing, finding that level of discomfort that again will improve our hip mobility and leave us feeling good as we leave class today. Each exhale, finding ourselves deeper and deeper into the stretch. Two more breaths here. Feeling our breathing slowing down now. When you're ready, slowly lifting yourself up to hands and wrists. That prop can go to the side. we are going to find ourselves into a supine position. So sitting onto that left hip, we can swing our legs around, and we're going to slowly lower to our backs. So holding the thighs if you need to, lowering for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's find a supine twist here. So we're going to go ahead and first hug both of our knees into our chest, maybe rocking side to side, finding a little massage on that lower back. And when you're ready, taking that right knee only, letting the left fall out nice and straight in front of us. We can take this right knee over to the left side of our body, teeing our arms out, finding this supine spinal twist. So our gaze can look towards the right. This is a great time to maybe find your eyes closing once more if that's comfortable for you. Starting to notice our breathing rate slower, our heart rate slower. Maybe finding deeper breaths here. Taking one more breath here, and then slowly untwisting, giving that right leg one more hug, and then we'll switch. Let's hug the left leg in, let the right fall forward, laid out straight. And when you're ready, taking the left leg, twisting it over to the right, finding our supine spinal twist on the opposite side now. So gaze looks towards the left, arms tee out, shoulders grounded. We can let those eyes fall shut. When you are ready, slowly untwisting, maybe giving both knees a hug one more time. If it's comfortable and you want to find happy baby before our final relaxation, you can. Or just grab the outsides of our feet, place those soles of our feet towards the ceiling. You can rock side to side. If you feel ready to find your final relaxation with our last few minutes, you can do so. We just want to splay the feet out. Legs are straight in front of us. Palms are facing towards the sky. Again, if it's comfortable, gaze is either above or eyes are shut. Doing one more quick body scan, thinking about how our body and our mind feels, and then start to maybe let those thoughts shut down. Focusing either only on our breathing or nothing at all. If any of those outside worries come in, maybe just noticing them and watching them float away. This is that last moment for you to take some time for you. Fully relax, reset yourself for the rest of your day, the rest of your week. If you feel like you need a few more moments here, I encourage you to take them, but as we near the end of class, if you are prepared to come out of your final relaxation, let's go ahead and wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe find some wrist rolls or ankle rolls. And let's go ahead and take a good morning stretch, reaching those arms up overhead, pointing the feet in the opposite direction. And when you're ready, slowly rolling to your favorite side, and then slowly finding your way up to a seated pose where I'll meet you to end our class today. So hopefully we found some comfort in discomfort today, wherever that was in class for you. Maybe you can take that message through the rest of your day or the rest of your week or month or year. And hopefully you leave this class feeling better than when you came in. Let's go ahead and take some deep breaths to end our class today in our seated pose. Inhaling the arms up high and exhale lower. This time, inhale, arms high, bringing the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center, where we will end our class today. Thank you for being here. The light in me honors and respects the light in each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's bow our heads to seal our practice. Namaste. Thank you all for being here in class today. Again, my name is Jackie. This was Vinyāsa Yoga. We have a survey down in the description. That survey information provides me a lot of great information for how to make this class the best it can be for you. So if you get the chance before you head out today, even if you filled the survey out before, if you can fill it out again, let us know your thoughts, especially in that part where we ask you to type some feedback. It's super helpful, whether it's for this class or another class you've taken for Rec Sports virtual series. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.